Welcome back to Girded with Truth. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon as we continue our wisdom series. Today we're talking about understand this. What really is understanding when we look at it in a biblical sense? Understanding is really the awareness of how to apply wisdom and knowledge. It also is the ability to know difference. What do I mean by know difference? When I say to know difference, I mean the awareness that is needed in any given moment or situation. For example, having the knowledge and wisdom of what death really is not going to prepare you for how to deal with a grieving widow. It is the understanding in that situation that is going to make you aware and sympathetic towards that widow, to consider her feelings in that situation. Even, for example, the difference between singing a song versus leading worship and ushering people into the presence of God in a given situation. And that is knowing difference. So, Proverbs chapter 4 verse 7 says, wisdom is the principal thing. But it also says, therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get an understanding. So we see wisdom being the principal thing. But without understanding, we do not have wisdom properly. And I think yesterday I touched base on that when I spoke about sound wisdom, because wisdom is the principal thing. But if we do not have understanding to accompany that wisdom, then we do not fully, or we are not fully sensitive to what is needed in any given situation. Wisdom helps us when we are studying, when we are trying to get formulas, when we are trying to organize the structure. But when we have to deal with the people, and when we have to deal with the actual real life situations, it is understanding that is needed for that. So here I am telling you, get an understanding. Proverbs chapter 2 verse 2 says, so that thou incline thine ear unto wisdom, and apply thine heart unto understanding. So we know that in order to become wise or to know wisdom, we have to listen, we have to be obedient to God. We have to hear what the Spirit of God is saying. But in order to apply understanding, we need to receive it in our heart. So understanding is a heart posture. It's a heart move. It's something that we have to connect our heart to. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto your own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So here we are seeing that it is not our understanding. Understanding does not come from us. Instead, we have to apply the understanding that we get from God. We do not rely on our own understanding. The ability to know difference, the ability to have wisdom and knowledge, the awareness that we need comes from God. So in any given situation with any given person, we cannot rely on what we know. We cannot rely on our own strength, but we have to really apply the wisdom of God. So when we apply our hearts to understanding, it's not how we perceive something, but how God perceives it. And we seek God to understand how he perceives it, and then we are able to understand fully in the situation. Because when we do not do this thing with God, we will fall short. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 19 says, the Lord by wisdom had founded the earth, by understanding hath he established the heavens. So he was wise in how he will deal with humans, how he would establish the earth, what he needed to put where he needed to put it, and when he needed to put it there. But with the heavens, he needed strategy. He needed understanding, because there are certain things that takes place on the earth, but it is heaven's resources that are issued with the things that take place on the earth. So he needed understanding. He needed to understand the affairs of men. He needed to understand the hearts of men. He needed to understand his angels. He needed to understand everything before he established the heavens. So it is the understanding that God has that is able to help us live our day-to-day lives. And if he established the heavens with understanding, then we need understanding to establish anything that we are establishing, because God knew he needed a proper strategy, but not just the strategy in itself, but the know-how and how to implement the strategy, the right moment in which the strategy would take place. He needed to establish the heavens the right way. And so too, he has told us to do the same thing. In Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 2 it says, "And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain on tables, that he may run that readeth it." And we have really been using Habakkuk for quite a while, because Habakkuk kind of ties into the faith, the wisdom, the understanding, and everything that we are speaking about. So if God tells Habakkuk, write the vision and make it plain so that others can run that read it, he's telling him, write the vision so clear that when people read it, they will have the understanding of it and they will be able to establish it. So God is speaking to us and he's telling us to be wise, but not just to be wise, but to be understanding, to have understanding, to get understanding. So today, I'm telling you, whatever you are entering into, whatever you are doing, whatever you are pursuing, make sure that you understand it. Make sure that you understand this. Make sure that you know understanding is what you need to connect your heart to the vision. God has spoken and declared things over each and every one of us. He has shown us visions, purpose. He has shown us and placed inside of us what we need to continue life's journey, but we need to get understanding. We can have knowledge of what he wants from us, what he desires for us. We can even have the wisdom to know what to do and how to do it. But in order to fully understand what God has planned for us and how his plans are always good towards us, and to be aware of when to do, what to do, how to do it, then we need understanding. So today, I am telling you, understand this. We need understanding, and God is ready to give understanding to us, but we have to get it. We have to take it. We have to perceive it, because it is only through God can we really get understanding. So today, I am telling you, seek God for clarity, and he will give you the understanding of everything that you need to connect your heart to. Today, I'm telling you, get understanding. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye.